Well, hey, and welcome to the original, the one, the only We Are Soccer. This is our weekly recap. We're going to be chatting about a couple of the games that happened this weekend, some other things. We're going to look back on the U.S. men's national team and some of those games. Game of the weekend has to be that Manchester derby, as Manchester City was hosting Manchester United at the Etihad. 3-0 victory for City. Outclassed United. We're going to jump in. We're going to talk about that. United fans, I want your thoughts on it. I want you to tell us what you're thinking at this point, how the season started. I've read a couple of comments on the We Are Soccer Facebook group about it, and it's very interesting. Also, my Aston Villa, scoreless, the only team in the top 7 divisions of English professional soccer that haven't scored a goal yet. Yeah, we haven't scored a goal in 4 games. I don't know when we're going to score a goal. We'll see. I've had a lot of people this weekend ask, hey, are you guys going to be relegated? No, we're not going to be relegated. I don't think anyway. No, we're not going to be relegated. All right. And then a Messi rookie card sold for how much? Are you kidding me? All right. We're going to talk about that and a lot of other things. Are you ready? Let's go. Let's jump in.
What? And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner! Who gives a shit about where the ball's been?
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
I think it's the most ridiculous thing in the world.
I love it because it tells you how the game was played.
There's nowhere for him to go. Literally, I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team. Do I look like I'm freaking kidding?
He does things that are absolutely insane.
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All right, we seem to have lost Nate there. Hopefully he jumps back on. Nate, if you could hear us, tune in and put your camera on.
Where'd I
go? There he is. Nate, for you. All right. Slow connection on my end. Sorry.
I
guess it's on my end.
Is it tech?
Yeah, we're playing hide and go seek because we start the show. I love that. All right, boys, how we doing? How's the weekend? My weekend has been long. It's been fun. Lots of soccer, lots of driving. I'm exhausted. We got a lot to talk about, but how have your Brooks? How was your weekend? How's it going?
Good. It's been busy. Post a lot of content on our socials. So if you go on our Instagram and Twitter and YouTube page, a lot of clips, a lot of score updates for college, and our good buddy Dan Garnell posting a lot of high school stuff for Ohio and Michigan, and some lower division college soccer, some NAIA D2 and D3 scores. So that's been good. We'll have some schedules here posted early tomorrow and some other content for this week. So it'll be a good one. So I've been busy and watching some soccer, watched the UPL yesterday, and watched the end of that St. Pauli game, Nate. It was a good one.
James Sands getting a full 90 in.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have to correct.
Go ahead. Sorry about that, Nate. Go.
I was just saying, I got to correct Craig. Game of the week was not Man United versus Man City at all. Not even close. Not even close.
I know, but before
we all knew what the outcome's going to be. Can I tell you what the game of the week is? Can I tell you what the game is?
You tell me. Well, hold on. Before you tell me what the game of the week was, I want to kind of explain. Before the weekend starts, we all pick a game that, maybe we can talk about that everybody's going to watch, right? And that should be really good. And that really was a bit of a letdown, as you said. But what was your game of the week? What did you say? What did you pick?
Who in the right mind was like, yeah, United versus City. That one's going to be close. Because, United's a refined team. And City didn't pick up the best goalkeeper in the world or anything like that. It's going to be a close one. No.
Close. You made some great picks. What was your game of the week? What was it?
Well, there was several good Bundesliga games. We could also talk about my FC Cincinnati clinching a playoff berth, but none of that, and I mean none of that, holds a candle to this game of the week, my friend, which is the pre-ECNL Liverpool Central girls going against their arch rivals. You're right, Oakland Nationals. And as my daughter said, who plays on Liverpool Central, there was some former teammates on that team that still communicate with each other, and they were talking smack.
Ooh.
There's some smack talk being talked.
12-year-old girls talking smack.
2014 girls, and they played like they had a fire in their belly. Unfortunately, they lost 1-0, but it was a great game. It was actually probably the most entertaining game I watched all weekend, to be honest. far more entertaining than United City.
It was.
It was closer. It was more thrilling.
This is true. All right, let's talk about that City United game. Obviously, listen, it opened up a kind of a sad note with Ricky Hatton, Manchester City fan, Manchester, a Mancunian, a boxer who's grown up there, passed away early this morning. Yesterday, I believe it was late yesterday they found him, but today they released the news. So unfortunately, kind of opened up on a little bit of a sour note. But the game, listen, we keep waiting for United. We keep waiting for this Manchester United team to get over the hill. They beat a Burnley team. They've played well against Arsenal, that they lost, and but they played well. And you're like, okay, can they keep going? And then the way City have opened up this year, you're thinking there could be something to this, because City have not been playing well. They got a couple of new players. They're struggling to put it together. There could be something to this game. And then pretty early on, you saw that no. City are just going to run this. They are the class team in this game. And United were at 6s and 7s, man. They were all over the place. The Foden goal, Bruno Fernandes was ball watching. Foden runs behind him, gets wide open with a header. There was just mistakes all over the place. I do want to get into the tactics in a little bit, but Nate, as a United fan, there are cracks starting to show that should have been papered over or covered over here, but it's just not working.
I disagree. I mean, in that the cracks starting to show should have been. I don't think they should have been papered over. It's too early in the season. It's just that to me, it's too early in the season. You had an overhaul. It's a completely different looking team. And yeah, I'm not excusing the performance, but at the same time, I just don't care. It's one of those things where it's like, yeah, against better teams, they're probably going to struggle. They're not going to look as good. They're going to get scored on. They need to find their form. Well, what are you going to do about it? It just kind of is what it is. And you're not looking at a finished product, really. You're looking at a work in progress, and work in progresses you're going to have their ups and downs. So just what it is.
Where do you stand? Because obviously, listen, coming into the game, you're thinking, okay, City are a better team. They're putting it together.
Right.
Maybe we should not play our back three. Maybe we shouldn't go with our 3-4-3. We should go with a 4 and kind of sit in a little bit, as a lot of teams have done in the last 12 months or 15, 16 months against City. They sit in and break out, and you're thinking, okay, I like that he sticks to his guns, but at some point you got to go, this hasn't worked, man. It's not getting better.
But it has worked statistically. So statistically, outside of this game, statistically speaking, it has worked. And if you're trying to build an identity and a formation and a rhythm of play, the last thing you want to do is just up and change it on week 4 because you think the opponent's going to be tough. There was moments of brilliance. There was several. Mbuba should have had like 2 goals that were absolutely missed, but there's moments of brilliance, and Dollarama had his work cut off for, so it wasn't completely one-sided. But yeah, they cracked him. Luke Shaw doesn't look like he should be on the field anymore.
Right.
And we'll see when Martinez is healthy if he's even going to be on the field, or if you just go with Maguire from now on instead of him. So I don't know. I hate to kind of shrug it off, but I'm going to kind of be like this way anytime they play a top end team. Liverpool, that's how I looked at it. I'm like, yeah, you lost against Liverpool. They're a finished product. You lost against City. They're a finished product. We're not a finished product. Guess what? We'll probably lose against Chelsea. Want to know why? They're a finished product. So these are teams that are competing for top 4 spots. Let's be honest. That's not United's goal this year.
Right.
So why scrap it? I guess he could. Sure, fine. And then you still lose. Okay. Or you treat it like what it is a learning curve. You expose certain players, and then you know who's good and who's not.
I guess I'm in the camp of Listen, it hasn't worked. I don't think personally, from what I see statistically, it hasn't worked. But what I would like to see is, from your standpoint as a United fan, I would like to see you guys get some wins. And whether you got to sit in with 4 or sit in with 5, get a win, start to build some momentum, start to build that little bit of camaraderie, because losing hurts and there's a lot of abuse online. And we've seen that, and it just seems to be getting worse. Statistically, he's the worst manager that's come into Man United in decades, because of he's lost more than half the games. But I get sticking with it. I get it, and it's just me. If I'm on the field, I'm going, Coach, can we try something else? Can we do something else? I'm sick of losing every week.
So what would he have done?
I mean, listen, he's so staunch on this back 3. Maybe sit 4 back there and then sit in a little bit. Don't play with 3 up high. But
a back three switches to a back 5 real quickly with those wingers.
This is true, but it's
so,
almost like,
and Doku is eating everyone's lunch.
Okay, I was gonna say we could go on all day about this, but let's actually talk about City and the way they've changed it, because what I noticed in this game is, compared to, I even want to say, the last 24 months at City, it was always, we've got these creative players, and then we put the shackles on them. We just saw Jack Grealish leave. He's gone on loan to Everton because he's not the player that he once was, because he has these shackles on him that Pep has put on. And it seems all of a sudden today, Reinders and Doku especially, man, when you get the ball, go and do something. Go and be special. And Jeremy Doku did that today several times. He had people shaking in their boots when he was running at them. That's the City, and all of a sudden it's changed now. And that's what they're going to do, and that's how they're going to get better. City, in my opinion, have turned this little corner, and I think it is Pep saying, okay, we need to take the shackles off of our speed and off of our creative guys, and let's go. And Phil Foden came alive. Finally, we haven't seen him in about a year and a half. It's incredible. He won Player of the Year 2 years ago. Last year he disappeared. He showed up again. It looks like City might have things figured out. Are they going to be a contender for the title? I don't know. Let's talk about that in a couple of weeks after we've seen a couple more games. But finally, they put one together, and it looked like they were in control, and probably could have, if all opportunities went in here, probably could have won 6-1, 6-2 today, because United missed an easy 1 or 2, and Bona missed 1. Casemiro looked like he may have been onside or offside, but could have put one in. Haaland hit the post, so he could have had a hat trick. But City, and then as you said, Nate, to open the show, like Donnarumma back there, he made one hell of a save, as he normally does. He's so big, so athletic. I think Ederson was in goal. That's who shot that? Where he tipped it. I forget who shot that. Dorgu, can't remember. But Donnarumma looks class.
Yeah, I think he's a game changer. I think he is changing the team from being top 3, top 4 to probably a title contender. For sure. When healthy, I think the City is going to be very hard to beat, especially with him there. And he controls it. He's controlling the back line. Apparently, according to the announcers, is Pep told him to basically set up the back line how he wants it, at least for the first game. So he's kind of managing it back there like a good goalkeeper should, and it shows. So.
Well, it's going to be interesting when United put their new number 1 keeper in. We'll see what happens there. And both teams, it should be said, both teams, United and City, had a little bit of an injury issue. Have had injury issues as we start the season. So quite a few teams have injury issues as we start the season here, and that's probably due to all the freaking soccer people have played in the last 12 months. All right, let's move on. Obviously, City were class in this game, 3-0. Man United fans, as Nate said, don't worry. Kind of you expected it. It's a build. It's a process. Move on. See how it goes. It's got to get better from here, right? All right, let's talk about some of the other results that happened over the weekend. Arsenal 3-0 over Forest. They just run rampant. Newcastle 1, Wolves 0. Wolves are bottom of the table. Haven't won a game. Haven't drawn a game. They are terrible. At this point, boys, Wolves, are you waving goodbye? Are you putting them in the bottom 3?
Yeah, because I picked them for this year.
You did incredibly. You did.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a slugfest between them and Villa. And wait, what?
What? Whoa! Yeah, maybe no.
Lamborghini. Yeah. Whoa. Yeah.
But I think Burnley, Wolves, and maybe even Leeds down there. That Wolves just look so terrible. We'll pull the table up here in a minute and show you exactly what they've got what they've got and what they've done so far, but they just look bad. Newcastle kind of, I say, limping along here, getting the job done, 1-0. You would expected more from them over Wolves, but it is what it is. Fulham 1, Leeds 0. Leeds kind of struggling. They haven't looked to put it together yet. It's going to be a tough season for them. We'll see where that goes. Fulham with a nice little win there. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. This game, Everton should have won. They were the better team. I'll be very honest. It was at Sam Hill Dickinson Stadium, the new Everton Stadium. Villa, okay, it would be nice to watch Aston Villa play a full 90-minute game. And I say this because my dad every week texts me about 10 minutes into the game, and he goes, oh, we started up crap again. I go, Dad, this is the strategy. This is what Villa do. For the first 45 minutes of the game, the first half, they sit back. They let the other team have possession. They sit back, they assess what's going on, they defend for their lives, and they just try to get into halftime 0-0. And then the second half, they come out and they've changed a couple of things around, and then they control the ball. And that's exactly what happened this week. Again, this is what Villa do. You don't get to see them play football in the first half. It's not meant to be played football. They just defend and assess. At halftime, they make changes. They come out in the second half. And for the first 20 minutes of the second half, Villa dominated. They had the ball. They created a couple of opportunities. They moved it around. And then you saw Everton and David Moyes make a couple of changes, and then they climbed back into it. And in the end, they probably should have won. Villa haven't scored. I would bet if we were to tally it up from the last 4 games, Villa have probably less than 15 shots on goal. They are terrible. There are 7 professional leagues in Great Britain. Villa are the only team in those 7 leagues to have not scored a goal yet.
Wow.
It's a struggle. It's a real struggle. Ollie Watkins is off the mark. He just can't seem to get on the ball. The Villa, when they get up the fields, they just can't seem to find those clear-cut opportunities. It will come. Don't get me wrong. It will come, but it is frustrating as hell to watch right now. And I would just like to see them play 90 minutes of football instead of 45 minutes of football. They have Brentford coming up here this week in the Carabao Cup at Brentford. Brentford just this weekend drew with Chelsea, and Chelsea are high flying right now because Cole Palmer's back healthy again. So I'm really worried about whether we're even going to score a goal in this game against Brentford. We already played them and lost 1-0 earlier in this season. So who knows what's going to happen? No, we're not going to be relegated. We are too good for that. And, well, you know what? We're not too good, but there's 4 or 5 teams who are just way worse than we are. So,
well, what do you need? What does Villa need, Craig, besides a goal scorer? What else do they need? Where are they weak? You know, what
players, new coach.
No, just like
scores, scoring.
Just like what City did, right? So City have been through a couple of struggles at the end of last season and the beginning of this season. They need to reassess. I think Pep has changed his tactics, right? Like I said, he let his creative players be creative. Yeah. Unai Emery seems to have. He has this way of playing, and he needs to let Morgan Rogers get on the ball more and remind him that you were the PFA Young Player of the Year last year because you could run with the ball and score goals. You did really well in the Champions League. Ollie Watkins, get outside of your head, man. Stop thinking. Start shooting the ball properly instead of waiting for an extra half a step, and then the defenders closed you down. John McGinn playing on the right, probably not a good thing. We've got Malen, the Belgium, the Dutch striker. Mm-hmm. He's playing great when he plays for Holland. When he gets with us, he only gets about 15 minutes. I'd like to see him get more minutes. We're just struggling. We seem to be in our own head. The tactics are just kind of shackled right now. I feel like he's put the handcuffs on some of our good players. And I just want to see them. Let's go play football, man. Let's go have fun. You want to be tactical. You want to be all seriousness. Yeah, do that in the back. But up top, we need to run, man. We got some really quick guys. Let's go.
I think what's going to be key this year for you guys is the loan from Harvey Elliott. If Harvey Elliott can be a good loanee for you guys because he wants to move and he wants to play at a place, it's going to give him minutes. He's going to be one I think you're going to need success from. I don't know what you're going to get from Jadon Sancho, unfortunately. We'll see what happens. Yeah, as Nate would say. But I think, Malen and Elliott are going to be ones. And, are you going to get much from Lindelof? I didn't understand that move. That one was weird.
So Villa do this every year. They seem to pick up a guy or two who's in the he's in the twilight of his career, right? Coming towards the end, but a guy they can put in for the last 10 minutes. So they did that this week. They put Lindelof in because they say, okay, you've been in big games, you've been at big clubs. We need your experience on the field. We have a couple of young players, but experience counts for something. So we're not counting on him for 90 minutes, right? It's you're a defensive midfielder, get in there, do what you need to do, move the ball around, and then he can drop back as well and defend when we're defending for our life. So I don't mind that signing. The Harvey Elliott signing is a really fun signing because he wants to be in that World Cup squad. He wants to be on that plane to America. He thinks he should be there. Now he's going to get a lot of minutes once he gets in there to show it. So I'm excited by him. He came in for the last 25 minutes of the game at Everton here. Once he gets acclimated, I think it's going to be a really good signing, Brooks. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
The Jadon Sancho, like Nate said, maybe we get nothing out of it. Yeah, exactly. All right, Crystal Palace 0, Sunderland 0, Bournemouth 2, Brighton 1. Brooks, it's not looking so hot for Brighton at the moment, man. They're struggling this year.
Yeah, they started off a little slow. We'll see how they can do here. But how about we look at that Sunderland Palace game? I mean, I know it's 0-0, but Sunderland is sitting 7th in the table right now. And so much for everyone thinks you're promoted and you're going to 3 promoted up are going to go down right away. I think Sunderland are bucking that trend a little bit. And I told you, they had a lot of young guys they kept. They could sell them. They could use them. When you have young players and you build a young team and you bring them up, you have a lot of options for next year on what you want to do with certain guys, so it's an interesting squad and they've added guys around them. And, it's fun to see the Stadium of Light, all those fans enjoying the game there and just, see Sunderland do well again,
I don't care about any of that crap. I just want my season 4 of Sunderland till I die. Like, when's that releasing? I mean, I've had enough. I'm writing a letter to Netflix. I'm kind of pissed off.
I'm gonna write a letter and I'm gonna mail it.
I'm writing a strongly worded letter. Dear Netflix! ! I am greatly displeased.
Yeah. In this week's version of Old Man Nate, he's gonna write a letter.
I'm gonna let you know.
Old Man Nate needs to complain.
I do look like Old Man Nate with this DCFC hat. I thought it was fashionably hip, but it makes me just look like an old man.
I like
back in my day, they used to play it.
Yeah,
And the Cavs Tech, they played the Cavs Tech, and I remember the Hoon out there scoring goals.
That's awesome. All right, so if we're being very honest with Sunderland, their goal isn't to win the league. Their goal isn't to finish in the top 10.
Just stay alive.
Not finish in the bottom 3. And so far, so good. They're doing really well.
I think they can do it. So
I wasn't sold on them when I looked at this. When I looked at their team and their squad, and I saw the first month of fixtures they had. But you know what, Brooks? I think you're right. If you can get a draw with Crystal Palace, and they've been playing very well, and they've got some high flyers in that squad, you're doing something right. So yeah, hey man, let's see if Sunderland stick around for another couple of years in the Premiership, and then maybe Nate will get his. Is it season 4 or season 5? I
don't know.
I think it's
4. They need the 4th. They need the 4th.
I think it's 4.
Whatever. A new season, 4, 5, and 6. Let's go. All the seasons.
All the seasons. He wants more. A team that is struggling again. West Ham 0, Spurs 3. Spurs. They look fun this year, man. This is fun for them. This is gonna be a good year. They're not gonna finish 15th again.
Let's see when they play some real teams because
come on.
I don't come on.
At this point.
Come on.
I'll tell you what, Javi Simmons looks very he engaged. He looks like he's going to be an interesting player for them. He's got number 7, so he's wearing Sun's old jersey. But I watched a little bit of that game on Saturday, and it was interesting. Does Graham Potter get fired? I think he's the next one on the chopping block, to be honest with you. We're talking about
100%.
EPL coaches. Yeah.
Who
100%.
could have predicted a Bundesliga player being exciting and fun? Who could have done this?
I think you.
Yeah, probably you. Probably about you, the only one who picks all the Bundesliga players to do well. It is going to be fun. I really do think he's got some ambition, man. He wants to make a name for himself in the Premiership, and he's gone to a good place. He's gone to a great place at Spurs, who are going to. Thomas Frank is going to and look what Thomas Frank did with some of his players at Brentford, right? Took good players and made them great with the right system. So I think it's a great signing. I think it's a great signing for everybody involved. So yeah. Yeah, man.
So let's stick with the Tottenham. No Daniel Levy anymore. He is gone. So things change at Tottenham. I've read rumors that they want to bring in Middle East money, like Qatar, Saudi. They're looking to do that. They're looking to go big. What do you guys think about that?
There was rumors about two potential groups in the last month here going in and asking to buy, and it was flat out denied that no, we're not going to be selling. So, but I do see some more investment coming in. I think what a lot of people have to understand is Daniel Levy was a bastard for running the club the way he did. Like he was very stupid in some ways, but a brilliant man in others, because look at the stadium, look at the amount of money they've made. They had a bad year last year, but before that, he did really well for 20 years at that club. So managing sales and bringing players in, but I think they should go out and spend more money on better players. And personally, that's where I think he was lacking.
As a business sense, it was the most profitable and well-run clubs there was, period, in the Premier League. As a competing club for trophies, not so much.
Exactly. Yeah, and that's
just how it is.
And you listen, I think he's a businessman, and I think he said, we're making money every year. Did we win a trophy? No, but you know what? People are still filling up my stadium. They're still coming back, and they think next year's the year. So we'll buy a player and have them really think it's the year, but we'll sell our big name over here for, $100 million, like he did twice. Gareth Bale and Harry Kane. So listen, man, like he's a bastard of a guy to deal with from what I've understood about negotiating and stuff. But like Nate said, they were one of the most profitable teams every single season. Incredible. So yeah, that good question, Brooks.
I think it'll be interesting. I mean, it definitely pulls the cuffs off him, right? And it gives Thomas Frank, a very interesting coach that's had success in the Premier League, gives him a little more freedom, it sounds like, at this point. I read, too, that Newcastle lady might get involved. Is she still with Newcastle, the one woman?
I think she left, and she's looking for a job. But, yeah, I've heard that. Who knows? It'll be a vastly differently run club in the next couple of years. But a lot of people like to go there. One, it's in London. Two, they got a big following and a huge stadium. And if they can get into Europe, I think they can really spend some money and really do some damage. So it'll be interesting to see how this season goes. And so far, Richarlison's been scoring goals. They're winning games. What more can you ask for if you're a Spurs fan? After last year, right? So, yeah. All right, moving on. Brentford 2, Chelsea 2. Brentford were up 1-0 originally in this game. A great ball over the top on Jordan Henderson. And I forget the kid's name who scored a great cutback through the defender's legs. A great goal. Chelsea come back. Cole Palmer played really well. He missed a sitter late on. And then Brentford, in the dying minutes, had 2 throw-ins. And long throw-ins, have come back into fashion again in the Premiership. It's incredible. I love it. It is. It's almost like it's Stoke and 2004 all over again. Yeah. They've come back into fashion, and they took advantage of it. They almost scored on one, and then they got another one, and sure enough, they did score on that. Robert Sanchez, the Chelsea keeper, went nuts because of the lack of defending, the poor defending. And I have seen a picture that they're calling the mistake Garnacho. It was his man he let run past him on the back doorstep to score that goal.
Not calling it. He was literally caught staring at the ball and not defending. And every United fan went, yeah, that's what he kind of does. That's the player you bought. So, that's par for the course, It's kind of like Casemiro was screaming at him at one match, so, that's what you kind of got, Yep. So, surprise.
Well, he's not going to last too long on the field playing with that group of players, because they got some exciting players at Chelsea, young, exciting players. So if he doesn't do his job, he'll be off the field. But good to see him get on the field and get a shot there. I think he was responsible for, inadvertently, he got an assist on the Cole Palmer goal, I believe it was. So he did some good things, but he obviously did some bad things. That's a draw. That's a great point for Brentford, by the way. A 2-2 draw with Chelsea. A great point for them.
By the way, the young player you're talking about from Brentford, Kevin Shade?
Sade. Yep, that's it.
Okay,
Nice player. He's quick. He knows where the net is as well. So he's going to score some goals this year for them. That was a tactical plan for Brentford. They sat in. Jordan Henderson received the ball just past his own, just outside of his own penalty box. And the first thing he did was he looked up and he saw Sade run and he goes, "Oh, put it over the top." And there you go, man. They had it a couple of other times as well, but that one came off. It's a nice tactic. Sit in, wait. Use your speedsters. Speed kills. All right. Last game we'll talk about. Burnley 0, Liverpool 1. You just knew that this game was going to end like that. Burnley took Liverpool all the way to the 94th minute. Handball, a stupid handball by former United player Hannibal. In the God, if I ever see this guy, I might punch him. You were just hoping in all hope that Liverpool wouldn't get the opportunity. As soon as you saw that ball crossed in, Hannibal decides he's going to jump and turn his back to it, and then he puts his arm out, and the ball hits his arm. It's like, you idiot. You know, the funny thing is, guys, when you see handballs or you see referees make a decision for a foul, even it's blatant, you see people run up to the referee and you're like, "What are you doing? No, you that's not how it was." Not a single player ran up to the referee when this happened. Not a single player was arguing with this because they all knew. And even the poor kid Hannibal, who had the handball offense, put his head in his hands and was like, "God, I can't believe I just did that." Yeah, and then Mo Salah steps up and puts it into the top corner. Liverpool won and running the table. They are, 4 games, 4 wins. We'll show the table here. They're doing all right, man. Liverpool and Arsenal, 4 games. Arsenal with 1 loss, obviously, but Liverpool 4 games, 4 wins, 9 goals for, 4 against, +5. They're running away with it here, boys. Arsenal, Tottenham in 3rd, Bournemouth up in 4th, Chelsea in 5th, Everton as they get a point from Villa this weekend into 6th, and there's your Sunderland, Brooks.
Mm-hmm.
Man City after their win, 8th, Crystal Palace, Newcastle round out the top 10, and their bottom 3, Wolves, who are 0-4. 4 games played, 4 losses, 2 goals for, 9 against, no points, -7 goal difference. And there's my Villa, 4 games played, 2 draws, 2 losses, -4 goal difference. And then West Ham and Burnley and Leeds. Listen, this is going to give it a couple weeks. This will shake up pretty mightily, as we know. But that's your table. All right.
Hey, Craig, before we get off this table,
Mm.
is Man United considered mid-table? This is still bottom mid, right? We're still mid-table. But below them,
Yeah.
Nottingham Forest, they got a new manager.
Yeah.
Can you tell me his name just one time, please?
Big
Please.
Ange Postecoglou.
Say it like you mean it.
Oh, Mr. Postecoglou. I love that he's
love
back
it.
in the Premiership. I love
that he's back in the Premiership because then you can say his name and
Postecoglou.
nail it every time. Yeah, Ange Postecoglou. Blah blah.
Postecoglou.
Yeah, no. By the way, that wasn't a Wi-Fi glitch. That just I don't know how to say it.
It is fun to see him back in the Premiership. Just for the fact that when he gets pissed off, he gives some really good interviews afterwards, and you can tell when he's pissed off because the Australian accent goes a little thicker, and he starts using the word "mate" really often. And by the way, he always wins a trophy in his 2nd season with his new club. So, do we expect that to happen in Nottingham Forest? This will be a big task for him at Nottingham Forest.
I don't know. EFL, FA, maybe. Who knows?
I say the Carabao Cups, the FA Cup could be in their sights.
Yeah.
You're right. All right, we gotta get to a couple of other things here. We're gonna talk some Bundesliga chat time with Nate there. We're gonna talk US men's national team as they beat Japan 2-0, and I want to put some thoughts on that game and the overall international break that just wrapped up, and then a Messi rookie card sold for how much money? We got a lot to get to, boys, and we're gonna get to it right after this.
Hi, Brooks. We're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just going to do some light shopping. Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next in line.
Sir, you're next.
Right.
That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh?
It's a mannequin.
Oh. Sorry, sir.
Frank, what are you doing?
Nothing. All right, boys, I do want to say, before we go any further, a big thank you to our partners. A big thank you to Soccer World, as you saw there, soccerworld.net for all of your soccer gear needs. A big thank you to Next Level Training. The best trainers, soccer trainers in the country reside right here in Metro Detroit. Lucky us. I send my kids to them, and you should too. They are top class next level trainers. And big thank you to Michigan Jaguars, michiganjaguarsfc.com. What an awesome club. My kids play for them. Nate coaches for them, so you know they're good. But michiganjaguarsfc.com for more information on that awesome organization. And a big thank you to the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. Listen, if you're injured, you need to come back from injury, go see the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. He is one hell of a doctor, one hell of a good dude. Oh, and by the way, he plays the sport at a pretty good level as well, so he knows what he's doing. And last but not least, a big thank you to our official brewery and beer sponsor, Dog Pony Show Brewing. We are going to be doing another trivia night. This time it'll be on Thursday, and I believe it's coming up in about, not this Thursday, the following Thursday, whatever that is, the 23rd or 4th or 5th or something like that. So keep your eyes open for that. Do us a huge favor. Get on our social channels. Like, subscribe, share. We would really appreciate it. All right, boys.
Hey, guess who saw Dr. Atwood recently?
Ooh.
Oh,
You did. How did it go, buddy?
So what was that? There was two guys talking at once.
Can you
How did
fix
it
your
go?
problem?
Yeah.
It's still two guys talking at once. Did he fix my problem? Yes. Actually, I was really happy with the consult that I had with him. Naturally, I had to pay for a 4-hour consult with only seeing him 2 hours because we talked too much. But that's just par for the course. But no, it's I liked the program he put me on. I actually already start to. I don't know if it's a placebo effect, and I hand a Bible. I don't know if it's a placebo effect or it's really working, but so far, I'm feeling a lot better with my knee, to be honest with you. So, and that's honest God, hand a Bible. And again, don't know if it's just a placebo effect or if it's really the exercises that he put me on. But it is feeling a lot better. With the movements that I'm doing, in a sport. So, I looked at a guy and actually he was complaining about his knee on the field, and I said, "You need to go see this dude."
Yep.
So
I think your knee's feeling better because the hands of the football doc, Dr. Zachary
touched me.
Atwood,
He touched me.
Magic.
So many spots. Wait, what?
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 Moving on. All right, Nate. This is your time to shine, buddy. We got some
All right.
action.
It's the Bundesliga Chat Time. It's a Bundesliga Chat Time. It's a Bundesliga Chat Time with Craig and Brooks. Okay, nothing really interesting happened this week. Let's just move on.
No, come on.
Yeah, no, I don't want to talk about it. So, okay, let's go with Freiburg versus Stuttgart, which is a local derby, which I told everyone to go watch. And sure enough, Stuttgart scored first, and great little back heel flick in, super awesome goal, awesome, held the lead, and then they managed to let in 3 goals in the last 3 minutes of the game. So that was great for my weekend. That was really great for my weekend. It looked like Leverkusen got the new manager bounce with a 3-1 win over Frankfurt. Good job, boys. Was it I lost my track. Heidelberg and Dortmund 0-2, an American sighting. And you're going to catch a theme here. There's a lot of Americans playing in the Bundesliga now. A lot of them. So Cole
awesome.
Campbell got in for 16 minutes towards the end against the 0-2 Dortmund game versus Heidelberg. And honestly, Dortmund had that one basically in the bag the whole time. Wolfsburg versus Cologne 3-3. This was a fun match because there was 3 goals scored in 90-plus minutes. They went 14 minutes. The last one being 90 plus 14 was the last goal. 3-3. And a 1, Christoph Lud, played left back for 78 minutes of the entire match. Did all right, had a 64% pass accuracy. So that's another American that's playing for a Bundesliga club. Muchen just battered Hamburg. It wasn't even a match, like 5-0. Kind of got boring. Sucks. I hate them. Boo, boo. Anyways, not by a settle. St. Pauli versus Augsburg. This is another match they said people should watch. I think St. Pauli is a fun team and will be fun throughout the whole year. Sands played another American, Sands played a full 90, won most duels in the match, seeing and helping St. Pauli with the 2-1 win over Augsburg, which is great. Gladbach versus Bremen. Apparently, when you have 2 Americans, you can't start both of them because you'd be too awesome. So, unfortunately, Scully didn't get to play, but guess who did? Guess who's back?
Gio Reyna, huh?
Gio's back. 74 minutes, completed the most dribbles. Unfortunately, Gladbach lost 0-4 against Bremen. And that would round out all the Americans and all the Bundesliga games that we have. Boom. Baby.
Well done, Nate. All right, so Jamie Sands completing 90 minutes. Do we think he could possibly be back in contention? Could he get back into the U.S. national fold?
I think he's earned it. I think he's a regular starter in a competitive league playing for a good team. He deserves to be called into the next camp and get a look.
Agreed.
That's my personal opinion.
Brooks?
Interesting. Is it?
I don't know if he starts.
Sure.
You know, I don't. Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying he's a starter, but I think he deserves that call up. So.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. Is it one more camp where he kind of does this mixture of guys to take a last look? Because I think there's a November, if I'm not mistaken, there's a November international window, right?
There's actually a game in October that's coming up.
There's 2.
There's just one game in October though. It's who do they play?
Oh no, there's 2. It's Australia. I have it right here. They play October 10th. They play Ecuador. And then October 14th, they play Australia.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they're adding a lot of friendlies
Yes.
in between matches so you can get looks at players.
Yes.
And it might not be. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. In November, there's a window. It's USA plays Paraguay on the 15th, and then the 18th, they play Uruguay. So I'm going to guess this next window, he may mix it up, and then November, when November comes around, that may be more of the people that he wants. Because I feel like those 2 squads right there, Ecuador and Australia, are ones you can still mix it up a bit and see what you have. But go ahead, Nate. Yep.
Well, I was going to say in reality is if he's doing ones that are not within international break, that's when you can use more MLS players and get better looks at those guys. And then the ones with international breaks, that's when he obviously can bring in the international players. So I think he's doing a good job of bringing in different players here and there. And I don't think, and we had this talk, and I think we'll get deeper into it, even okay, we're flipping right to it. All right. And segue. This match against Japan and even Korea, I don't think, outside of like Adams and Pulisic, and there's one other guy who's like, and this guy. Chris Richards. Outside of those three, in my opinion, have starting positions locked down. Outside of those 3, everything's up for grabs. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think there's a single, and I'm not saying that those guys won't make the team. I'm just saying that they don't have it locked down because I can list multiple other players that weren't involved in the game or playing in the game that easily, if you would have said, hey, James Sands is starting next to Tyler Adams, I'd go, okay, that makes sense. Yusa Musa standing next to Tyler Adams, that makes sense. Jedi Robinson playing starting role, that makes sense. So and that's just my point. There's multiple players that weren't called in that didn't play that I think if you were to say, hey, he made the final 24-man roster, you'd go, okay. So I think he's still trying to round this out, in my opinion.
All right. So obviously we had 2 games. Nate, you were at the Japan game there in Columbus. The first one we lost to South Korea 2-0, and we looked terrible. We looked all over the place. But again, I don't think the result really mattered that much. I think we all put too much stock into the result. But now with a little bit of upon reflection, I go, you know what? He's just trying different players in different positions.
Yep.
He's looking to get something out of it. It's a friendly. It doesn't matter. And yes, South Korea looked good. And yes, U.S. men's national team looked bad, but we don't know what the directive was. We don't really know what he was trying to get out of it. And I think he being Pochettino, got exactly what he wanted out of it. Now, the game against Japan, it has to be said, Japan played mostly their B or C team, players who are not their top players. Don't care. I don't think, again, he cared about the result. Pochettino said, I'm going to play certain players in different positions, and I'm going to try them next to other players, and I need to see them because I have a limited windows till the World Cup. I've got to see how certain players play. I definitely liked that he played Zendejas. I liked that he played Roldan. I liked that he played in the Japan game, he sat Luna on the bench. I liked that he played Pulisic through the middle, because what happens if players get injured? What happens if different scenarios happen within the World Cup? I love the fact, Brooks, you and I talked about it. He went to a back 3, and you guys know I hate a back 3. I want 4.
Yes, you love a back 3.
I want that 4.
Craig is always like, I want a back 3. Let's go. And we have to tell. We're like, Craig, stop with the back 3s. Yeah. Always, we call him Craig back 3 Kern. That's his nickname. He's always like more back 3 all the way. He's back 3 is what we call you. Why are you chanting this? More relentless about this back 3. More back 3. It's like, stop, Craig. Can't we do a 4-4-2?
I like that he. Yeah, I wish I would hear you say that. I like that he went for back 3, because he is going to have to play. When you play against certain teams, you may have to play that. Now, is he going to play a back 3 against an England, a Belgium, a France, a Portugal, those type of teams? No, he probably won't. But there are going to be certain instances where he has to do that, and he has to see how players and how the team needs to see how they will be in those scenarios. So I actually really love it. I think he got a lot out of the Japan game. Again, not Japan's best team on the field. Didn't matter. USA played well, put the ball in the back of the net. Could have been more as well.
But it's not. It also wasn't. This my point. I'm going to say that was USA's BC squad as well.
Oh,
possibly.
100%.
Possibly.
100%.
Because, again, I can name several quality international players that weren't even called in. So, you guys want to hear about the game, or should I just, I had a press pass.
What?
Yeah, I had a press pass.
Yeah. Hold on. I want before you.
You guys didn't know that? I had a press pass. I actually was backstage.
Backstage?
Yeah, backstage. Back in the stage area. It's Candora's Tacos.
To the tacos. Before we get your
they're delicious
report on the game, I do want to hear Brooks's thoughts about what we were just saying there.
Yeah. So listen, for me, I think the back 3 happens. I think if Tim Ream is a starter, I think Stu Holden pointed this out on Alexi Lallis's podcast, and I think Tim Ream is the best center back passer we have of all the center backs in the pool.
Best passing center back.
Best passing center back.
Mm-hmm.
He needs coverage behind him. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's getting there. He can still move, but he needs athletes next to him to cover.
Yes.
So if Tim Ream is on the plane and we're starting, I think it's a back 3. And I think a back 3 suits them very well, in my opinion, because it gives them width and it gives Pulisic and some other guys more opportunities in the center of the field and just to move around and do what they want, rather than just be super stable in a 4-2-3-1. So for me, was this their best squad? No. But what I think we're going to find, and it's going to be surprising, is the players that were at the last World Cup. You will find some that I believe won't be on the roster, and I feel like he is going to take players that are going to work hard and defend and not make excuses. And I don't know and I can't say that all the international guys you think are going to be there because they're not going to want to do the extra work like the MLS players will. I think if you ask the MLS players, some of them, and this is not going to be like 10 of them on the team, right? But you may have like 5 or 6, and then in the main core, maybe most of the international guys, but you're going to have some where it's going to be 5, 6 guys that you're going to build the depth of the roster. Maybe some get some minutes off the bench. Maybe some start like a Matt Freese in goal. But it's going to be interesting, and I think there's going to be surprises for when this World Cup roster is officially announced. And then future camps, the guys come in, you're going to start seeing this is who's going to be in. It's going to be interesting because I don't think he's playing favorites with anyone. He's not playing favorites. He doesn't care where you play. He wants you to make sure you start in your team, but it doesn't matter if you play MLS, play La Liga, you play EFL Championship or whatever. For me,
should,
Brooks.
Brooks, I think before the roster is officially announced, we should take a bet. What's the under/over on MLS players? That would be the one thing. Nate, go ahead.
Can I? So I've been watching this like great series called Alien Earth, and there's this scene in have you seen it? It's like based off aliens, and there's a scene like in Alien Earth where this like alien tick thing like latched onto a dude's neck and like sucked the blood out and like killed him, and that was like probably less horrifying than the comment that you just made of Tim Ream being the best passer out of the back than I've ever heard in my entire life. I don't give a shit I don't care what the commentator said. No, he is not.
It's undeniable that he's the best.
It is deniable. He is not. That is very deniable.
Who is the best passer then?
Brooks. He was, every time he got put under pressure, he lost the ball. I was there live. I watched it. I looked next to my friends and I was like, he looks slow. He can't complete a pass, and they're pressing him and he's losing the ball. He had to go back and negative. The only way he was able to get back out is going negative to Richards, and then he went out through him. He was a liability. He is slow. The game is caught up to him. And if you want, I'll pull up his accurate stats in 2 seconds, and I'll go dark. I'm going to do it right now. So I'm not really gone. I'm just off on the camera. Talk about it yourselves. I'll give you a topic. How Chris Richards is not good and was horrible that game. Not Richards, Ream. He had barely a 61 to 67 pass rating, but most of those passes were back passes. The passes he lost is when he was getting pressed, and they pressed him, and he's too slow, dude. He is too slow. They need to go away from him. He is not good enough out there. I'm telling you, he's not.
Okay. I'll make my counter argument. Let me just make the counter argument.
Go ahead.
Go for it.
The counter argument, which a lot of people have been talking about too, is that has this young team with Pulisic and McKennie and everyone, the reason they haven't been successful is they haven't had a leader on the field, like an old guy that's a veteran that's been a leader. And that's my thing is if he's the one that's going to be the leader, because I just don't see a player in another position where you stick someone where they have experience and they're going to get into that starting 11.
I disagree that this team doesn't have a leader anymore.
Tyler Adams?
This will be Tyler Adams' second World Cup appearance, second the 8 years doing it. This is Christian Pulisic's third World Cup appearance. Yeah. Richards has been around. Most of these guys have been around for multiple caps. I like Ream. His time's done.
My thing with those, yes, they're leaders, but they're not vocal leaders. Christian and Chris are not. Tyler, sure, maybe a little more, but who's the guy that's going to grab someone by the scruff of their neck and be like, defend, let's go? Who is? I
haven't seen Tim Ream do it, so I think the game is past him.
He is very respected in that group.
Cool. So be an assistant coach. He'd be great as an assistant coach then, and he can be a leadership from that aspect.
Let's go with differing opinions. I kind of fall in the middle a little bit. I think he's too old, but I do appreciate what he brings, and he is a good passing center back when maybe not
when he's not pressed.
But when he's not pressed, yeah, which is very not very likely in games. Nate, give us the official, give us the rundown though. What was your thoughts of the game? How was the crowd?
It was great. Unfortunately, my friend who bought the ticket decided to, and I love you, Dan, but how on earth did you put us in the Japanese section? Nice? Maybe it was an accident. Honestly, dude, hats off to the Nippon Ultras, as they call themselves. Those guys were great. They were on their feet the whole time. Their chants were catchy. They were on beat. They were loud. Even when they're 2-0, they were absolutely loud. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful experience, to be there with them. And then
Cool.
I'm watching the U.S. Americans do a Viking clap.
Mm.
And then I'm sad, and I'm sad for us as Americans that the Japanese have a way better fan base than us. Sorry, American outlaws, but come on, at least their chants are original. Their what they're saying is original, is very good, is enjoyable, and I'll tell you what, that game was great. It was electric. The crowd was great and electric. 20,000 people in a 25,000 person stadium is always going to be good. Columbus, honestly, second best stadium in Ohio for sure. Second best stadium, absolutely, from Ohio. They try their hardest, and maybe it'll pay off. But it's not a bad stadium. And the atmosphere is great, and that's where U.S. men's should be playing in stadiums like that, because
Absolutely.
they pack in 20,000 people in a 25,000 person stadium, and it's electric. It's nice. It's loud. It's fun. It's there. There was a lot of energy there, so I had a great time. It was a great experience, and especially at the end when the U.S. men literally put the foot on the gas, and you could see the Japanese team just kind of fall off, and there was several that Japan goalkeeper was spinning on his head at the end, at least from what I could see, making save after save after save, because he was put on a lot of stress and a lot of trouble. So it was a good match. I think it was a great match, and again, just U.S. men's national team, until you play meaningful, I hate to say this isn't a meaningful match, but all friendlies should be played in MLS stadiums. That's just my opinion.
Sure.
That's what they should be. Stop trying to put it in the Dallas whatever where it's 75,000 and no one's gonna buy 75,000 tickets to see these friendly matches, and then it looks bad. Just we have enough of these stadiums. Keep it in these stadiums. It's great. Everyone loves it there.
100% agree. Yeah, 100%
Yes.
agree.
Yes.
All right, boys. Final.
And I
thought.
got a free poster.
Well, hey,
Nice.
who's on your poster?
The whole team said defend the fortress. It's good.
I like that.
love
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Final thoughts. U.S. men's national team. Let's wrap it up. Brooks, what do you got? Obviously, we talked about the next camps coming up, but give us the final thoughts on the recap, essentially, of what's gone down in the last week and a half for the team.
So listen, whoever they play in the back three or whatever, I just think it's a 3-back system for me. It just creates other opportunities for players. It gives Pulisic freedom. Balogun had freedom. If it's Pepe that's up there, or maybe you try Sargent again in the next window,
Don't forget Downs.
Yeah, or Downs. Downs was good too. So, playing that too. I mean, for me, I liked what I saw. I liked the response. I know South Korea wasn't the result we wanted, but I liked when we switched the formation. We were much better in the second half. And then I liked how we were on the front foot against Japan. And if they can start on the front foot like that in every friendly and play for 90 minutes, whether they lose 1-0, tie 1-1, win 2-1, whatever, I just want to see a consistent 90 minutes going forward up until this, and up until and through the World Cup. That's what I want to see. And then I'm just curious, does he bring in more players to mix it up a little more the next window? Or does he say, hey, I kind of got to narrow it down, and maybe there's only a few guys that are on the fence I'm going to bring in. So, but I like what he's doing. I trust him. I know a lot of people don't because of the results in the summertime with Gold Cup and Nations League and whatnot, but I trust him. He's done this long enough. He's an Argentinian manager. Argentinians have to win their national team, so he knows the pressure. I trust him.
All right. Good wrap up. Nate, you good? Anything else to say on the U.S. men's national team here?
No, I mean, I agree with Brooks. I like the back three. I like what they're doing. It's exciting to watch. It's fun to watch. Craig, you hate how England plays sometimes. I hear you gripe. And honestly, I thought win, lose, or draw, if you're playing like this and going at a team and trying to score and aggressively going at a team, it's fun to watch. So it'll be interesting on who he calls in. It'll be interesting on who that final roster is. You heard me read off several players that are playing in the Bundesliga. There's several players playing in England, in League Two as well, which is highly. And there's several players playing in MLS. So I think the field is quite open as far as talent. I think more so than we've ever seen before. And I again, outside of maybe 3 standouts, Richards, Adams, and Pulisic, which is no-brainers.
Yep.
And outside of those 3 guys, I think it's an open field. I really do. I really do. I don't, Bellingham, okay, great. You also got Pepe. I just listed off Downs, who's doing good. You also got Sargent. There's players there. There's for once there's a little bit of depth, and maybe, just using that example, maybe Bellingham is that going to be the starter, but it's not clear and cut, so outside of those 3 guys, I think the field is quite open and it's exciting, and that's kind of what you want going into a World Cup that you're hosting. So
Right.
yeah, I put my pre-sale tickets on, and can't wait to not get selected.
Exactly. Same here. All right, moving on here. All right, there was a Lionel Messi rookie card that recently sold. A 2004-2005 Panini Mega Cracks Lionel Messi rookie card, assessed a perfect 10, and it was sold this week for $1.5 million through Fanatics Collector Sledging Network. It's the most ever paid for a soccer card, surpassing the $1.33 million paid for the 1958 Alif Bola Galet Pele card. I don't know what those words are besides Pele, but a Pele card from 1958 sold for $1.3 million recently, and that was a private sale in 2022. The sale comes days after Golden Auctions brokered a private sale of $1.1 million for another copy of this same card that was also graded a 10. Fanatics Collects Private Sales Network matches high-end buyers with cards, and apparently it's brand new. So this is like a new thing. And listen, we've all dealt with baseball cards and soccer cards before. Grading it a 10 is a perfect. I'm not sure if I'm paying $1.5 million for a card that's 20 years old of Lionel Messi. There's like there's a lot of these cards out there. There's where was it? There's like 70 of these cards in existence that they know of as a perfect 10. So I don't know. Nate, did you buy a card and not tell us?
No, I'm good.
Okay, this wasn't you. This wasn't you buying this one?
Nah. I didn't even know this was a thing, but that's cool.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of more out there, so if you want to buy them, have at it.
No, I'm still all right.
It's kind of funny how like I watched a documentary series on like baseball cards because they were always huge in like the 80s and 90s, and how it was so big and then it dropped and then now it's a big thing again. Like, I mean, does the soccer card? I feel like soccer cards were never a thing, and then now they've become a thing again. And soccer's always jerseys. You want a jersey or something, or
jerseys,
or cleats or boots or whatever, like certain editions or like the ones you have in the studio, Craig. Those fancy boots. Maybe they'll be worth something a lot one day.
Yeah, they're inlaid crystal Adidas boots I got. Hopefully that's why I bought them. It cost me $300. Never worn them. But yeah, it seems soccer cards are coming around and people are buying them. All right, boys, that's going to wrap us up for the week. I do want to say again, a big thank you to our partners, a big thank you to Soccer World, soccerworld.net for all of that good stuff. Next Level Training, the best trainers in the country reside right here. Visit Next Level Training. Big thank you to Michigan Jaguars, michiganjaguarsfc.com for more information on them. And Nate's new best friend, the football doc, Dr. Zachary Atwood. If you're looking to get back on the field, hit up the football doc. And if you're looking to drink some awesome beer, head over to Oak Park, hit up the Dog and Pony Show Brewing. Our good friend Kyle and the staff over there are waiting for you. Boys, another fun week. I appreciate it. And I think that's going to wrap us up. Finally, we're back on Sunday. We're not in the studio yet. We're going to be a couple weeks more before the studio is back up and running, but hopefully very soon. So, all right, that'll wrap us up. Thanks, boys, and everybody. Cheers.
Cheers.